So I'm going to do my closing remarks in English, and I have to say it's been very hard to be rational today because I spent a lot of my professional life with all of you working on this initiative, and I heard very, very clever and very truthful comments, so I'm not going to try to match. I have to do a summary of the day. It's going to be impossible. First of all, let me thank you, all of you, to be here. But actually, thank all of you for sticking with us and the countries for these 12, 13 years. It's not been easy, but this initiative has really changed the way we work in the sector right now at the IDB. But not just the sector. And I'm going to talk about this at the end of my remark. It has been a very inspiring and productive first day. I think we had very insightful discussion regarding what worked and what didn't work with Salud Mesoamérica. And what has always been beautiful in this experience has been the range of voices, from the governments to the donors that actually they were not donors, were donors financially, but were most importantly partners, and with strong and deep technical expertise, from health workers and all the specialists that were involved in this. It has been a large-scale initiative and has been, I think, a large-scale experiment. And today we discuss a lot about the beauty of the RBF, result-based financing. There is a lot of fights usually when this discussion, we enter into the discussion whether it's value-added or not value-added. I do believe that focus the minds of all of us on well-defined results. And some we achieved, some we didn't. But also put accountability of all of us. I don't think I was ever most accountable, not even now, than on this initiative. And I think for our counterparts as well, and for the donors as well. And I'm completely aware of the difficulties that internally the donors had to face to justify all the different stages. So a lot of thanks for that. We also saw today how targeted cost-effective intervention and leadership development efforts in Honduras, in El Salvador, in Belize has really contributed to long-lasting results. While these approaches have shown positive results, we know that sustaining and expanding them will require ongoing investment, continuous capacity building, and also policy alignment. And as a task, the IDB is excited to continue this effort and this battle. Because as I say, the initiative really changed the way we approach our work in the sector, and not only in the sector. Let me give you some examples. We launched 3 years ago, for example, a blended financing mechanism based on results for adaptation for all the sectors. It's called CLIMA. It was directly influenced by the design of this initiative. Our result-based financing model has been, operation has been recently reviewed based on this initiative. We worked in other countries without the RBF components, like Bolivia and Paraguay, to achieve really concrete quality improvement process based on the technology developed under this initiative. And also this initiative has a set of alumni, and in the last panel you saw one of them, who is Inés, who is now as a representative applied the same approach to all the portfolio in Guatemala, and you can imagine the dreadful the dreadful scenery for all the team leaders of all the sectors. We talk about scaling impact, and it's true. Even now, we are used to the new kids on the being very excited about the new kids on the block, no, and the new pilots, etc. And I think a big strength, and we discussed during the panels of this initiative, was really designing for scale. And we saw examples where this approach improved maternal and neonatal care and encouraged health workers to adopt new practices. However, ensuring this improvement continue beyond this initiative really remain a key consideration. I think through this initiative, we really changed the way we work with partners, and I have to thank the partners and for the flexibility that they showed. The involvement of governments, donors, and technical partners like the Gates Foundation and Carlos Slim Foundation provided a very powerful mix of resources, expertise, and accountability mechanism. And the way we think about partners at ADB has been shaped by this initiative in many other sectors. And a lot of you have talked about the importance of measurement, real-time data, and I think we heard from the leaders in the sectors how actually this really changed the way they operate in their sectors. And with very long-term impact. And one of our commitment is to continue. I don't talk about the initiative. I will never talk about the initiative in the past because we have a lot of activity continuing the work the initiative is built on. But also, important element of putting quality improvement at the center of the discussion. And this is not minor, it's major. For example, when I assumed this position now as a head of the social sector, where there are many investment, I say to education, and why we don't do what we do in health, or we are trying to do in health. So, and this has been picked up. So I think there are a lot of cross lessons and fertilization that now I can see happening within the bank. The discussion on Honduras and El Salvador provided very helpful lessons today on health system improvement. When we heard from Perla on our coaching program and performance-based incentive help improve service delivery. However, and after a series of setbacks, we learned that this effort works best when local teams had the necessary training and institutional support to sustain them. So one key takeaway of today's discussion has been that health system reform isn't just about introducing new approaches. It's really about ensuring that they are feasible, scalable, they have strong ownership, and they are aligned to national priorities. So the future, and tomorrow we're going to focus a lot on discussion. There are many questions that we are asking ourselves, and hopefully today already we got good hints on how to answer them. What are the steps that are needed to ensure the government ownership beyond the donor-funded initiative? How can partnership continue to support evidence-based policy making at scale, even with the risk of failure? And I think already talked about it, but for us, the lessons that we learned from SMI have informed institutional effort in our new institutional strategy. Our president adamant, we need impact and scale, and here we have found a real blueprint for this. So this is a continued dialogue and collaboration, and we hope that even in some sense initiative is completed around this important milestone, is living in the malaria elimination initiative and other things we want to do with all of you. So a preview for tomorrow, we'll discuss about a lot of these issues, open questions, and certainly we want to address the issue how these gains can be sustained. I want to thank you from the deep of my heart. All the people, I think 80% of the people here have been actually the protagonists of this. They are not just the speaker today, they were the life and souls of this initiative. And I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. So many thanks, and see you tomorrow.